Welcome back to the podcast, Break the Chain with Thaddeus Ford. So happy to have you back. In today's episode, I just want to get right into it. Today, I want to talk about the simple fact that God doesn't bless the old version of you. God blesses you based on where you're going and His purpose. And so I've been thinking about that a lot lately. There have been some things in my life recently that have just blown my mind in the way that God has provided for me and what He's done for me. And in some cases, it's a material thing. In some cases, it's not a material thing. But lately, He's just been blessing me so abundantly. And there were moments when, after receiving these blessings, that imposter syndrome started to set in where, I look at myself and I look in the mirror and I say, who am I to receive this? Who am I to have this? And, once I do that, once I criticize myself, first and foremost, and then it's a tidal wave. And then from there, it goes into me thinking and imagining other people are thinking and feeling the same thing about me. Who is Thaddeus Ford to have this? Who is Thaddeus Ford to have that? And so dealing with that imposter syndrome, dealing with that limiting belief about myself and how I show up in the world led me down this path. And it dawned upon me that the majority of my life, God has continuously blessed me in a way that shocked the current version of me, whenever that was. Um, my mind is thinking back to performance opportunities. My mind is thinking back to just so many things. I mean, I can think of so many stories throughout my life where there was nothing about me in my current state that would have told me or anybody else that I deserved this thing that I got. And as I'm sitting here talking to you about it, I'm thinking about it and I'm remembering, even as a kid, having those feelings of like, man, like, who am I to get this? And when you have a big, open, genuine heart for people and society, it's almost like survivor's guilt, where you're seeing people around you working really hard and struggling and not being able to have what they need or want oftentimes. And then when you start receiving a windfall, it's like survivor's guilt. It's like, who am I to receive this blessing? And then I'm thinking about so many scenarios, so many scenarios. And when you look at it on the surface, it might be, something practical. It might be, you know, for example, I'll give an example since, let's be transparent. So the first example I'm thinking about is when I decided I wanted to go to a performing arts high school in New Orleans. This is the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. This is where the Marsalis family, I'm sure you've heard of them, Harry Connick Jr., Terrence Blanchard, Nicholas Payton. The list goes on and on and on. Wendell Pierce, great actor. So many wonderful performers and actors and artists, musicians went to this school. So I decided when I was in 11th grade or going into 11th grade that I wanted to go to this school. I had saw some of my peers around me, a couple of my peers around me, go to the school, audition, and get accepted into the school. So I decided I wanted to do that. Now, mind you, I had only been playing the trumpet consistently for about 2.5 years at that point. But I come from a musical family, 6 generations of musicians, 5 generations before me. So I was afforded the opportunity to stand on the shoulders of giants in the city of New Orleans in terms of musical aptitude. Uh, my own personal musical aptitude did not exhibit um, that of someone who was worthy of going to the New Orleans Center of Creative Arts for creative arts. I was okay, but there were many things lacking in my musicianship at that particular time, but that didn't stop me. I had a hunger and I had a drive, and I wanted to go to this school. So, um, classic me. I procrastinated. I was so eager to go to the school that I did all of the preliminary stuff, but I wasn't necessarily preparing for the audition. I wasn't necessarily preparing for, what the school year was going to look like. All I cared about was I want to go to this school. And so the day the weekend before school starts is when I got in contact with Mr. Clyde Kerr Jr., God rest his soul, very famous teacher, educator, trumpet player in the city of New Orleans. So I got in touch with him the Friday before school starts. He asked me to come to his house the Sunday before school starts. I go to his house. He asked me to play for him. I don't know what I played. I played something, and he wasn't jumping for joy, nor was he disappointed. There was just very little response from him. So I play a little bit more on his back porch, and I play, and then he gets like a notepad or something out, and he's just looking down and he says, "Okay, so you're gonna need to give this to the bus driver so that he can bring you to school." And that's how I got into the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. And so that example is just one example that shows that maybe at that time I wasn't prepared for that blessing to be rubbing elbows with very seasoned young musicians, to be counted in that number of future alumni of the New Orleans Center for Creative Arts. Maybe in 1994, my junior year, I wasn't prepared and didn't deserve to be there. Lord knows I didn't. But that through some divine intervention, through some divine order, God saw fit that I be blessed with that opportunity. And that school and that opportunity changed the trajectory of my life. And so the practical side of it says, well, yeah, you're Ford. You're come from a musical family. The Kerr family knew the Ford family for generations. So of course, that's how you got in. So we can look at it like that from that perspective. There was a practical angle for me getting into this school. But in the grand scheme of things, over and over and over and over again in my life, God has consistently blessed me, not for where I was, not for where I had been, but where he was leading and guiding me. So what I'm trying to say to you is that as you pray, as you seek, as you pursue purpose, God can and will more than likely drop something so major, so heavy in your lap. And you're going to think, I don't deserve this. Who am I? And that type of thinking will lead you to imposter syndrome. And if you stay in imposter syndrome too long, then you're going to sabotage this gift because there's something in you that doesn't feel like you deserve it. So you'd rather dance with the devil than to face the reality that I have a limiting belief that God is trying to expose right now. And dealing with that limiting belief stands between me where I am now and where he's taking me. So don't pray, don't pine after the gift and the treasure, as it were. Don't lust after that so much. And then when it's revealed to you that there's some character flaws inside of you that need to be dealt with, so you not only get there wherever there is, but you stay there. Right? So when he blesses you in this abundant way, recognize if you start having these feelings, recognize, first of all, receive it. Be grateful, receive it. Don't send it back. Don't say, oh, you must have the wrong address. Is it? No, it's for you. It's for you. But it's for his purpose. And you are just a part of that. So as God blesses you abundantly, I want you to receive it. I want you to be grateful, but I want you to use it as an opportunity to ask yourself, am I suffering from limiting beliefs about myself? And more importantly, am I suffering limiting beliefs about the God that I love and serve? Do I really think he made a mistake? Or is there something that he knows that he put down inside of me, that this blessing is just a catalyst to spur me on, to push me forward towards the purpose that he set for me even before he created me? So I hope this helps somebody. Thank you all for your patience while I was dealing with some health issues this past week, so I wasn't able to do the podcast, but we're back. I'm so excited. If you have not already, take this opportunity to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can know when I post new videos. If you're listening to this on the podcast, Spotify or Apple Music, you know how to subscribe. Share this message. Leave me a message in the comments. And if you want to take this offline and if there's anything that I could help you out with, feel free to send me a DM. I would love to hear from you. And until the next podcast, Break the Chain with That Is For. Peace.